Yes. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Quest. I am PS Quest, and this is Crypto Quest. So today I want to talk about what's going on with the markets. There's a lot going on right now. It's a whole lot of red. We can see most of the projects here are down about 15 to 20%, with Bitcoin itself down anywhere from 8 to 10%, almost touching the 42,224 support level. If it does, I am going to open a long position, by the way, on that, because I do expect it to bounce right off of that support, straight back up to back into this wedge very shortly, and I'll tell you why. So the main reason why the markets are coming down so crazy right now is because of this. It's China's Evergrande, and this has been covered pretty well, but what people haven't really done is talk about what extent this has on the U.S. markets. So I did a little bit of research, and of course we know that China's Evergrande actually owes over $300 billion, and they're basically insolvent. And at this point, they're looking to be either bailed out or beg for money in some other way, which I don't think is going to happen. $300 billion is a lot of money to overcome, and I don't think it's possible for them to overcome that. So either it collapses and everybody that has investments in this company loses all their money, or they get bailed out from the government. So that's what we're looking at, and that's why there's so much volatility going on in the market right now. So let's talk about the details of what kind of impact it has on U.S. businesses. So basically, big companies like BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, even Fidelity, and these kind of groups all have money in Evergrande. The reason why is because they all offer funds for their 401ks, and also real estate, generally speaking, is considered to be a pretty reliable asset. So a lot of funds that they invest money into are tied up and wrapped into the Chinese, it's not the Chinese markets, but just real estate markets generally speaking. Now, if you have a 401k, and you look at the funds that are in the 401k, there is an option for something called global real estate. It's part of every single 401k that anybody has, is this category of investment. It's an investment category called global real estate. Now, under the global real estate, it's typically viewed as something that is it's safe, because real estate, like I said, is always viewed as a safe asset, because the prices don't really go up and down so fast in those spaces. But because it's global and it's not just like US, like for example, if you have a 401k based in the US and you're investing in global real estate markets, you're investing all over the world, so not just US, but emerging markets as well. So global real estate is looked at as not only safe, but also pretty decent returns. You get like 10 to 15, sometimes 20, 25% returns, because a lot of these markets are emerging, and the real estate markets do go up globally a lot more than they would locally in US, where it's kind of already been developed and established. So this is what we're faced with now, is funds that are tied up into the global real estate markets. So if we look at just a regular search of what are the best 5 global real estate funds, we have the SPDR Dow Jones Global Real Estate ETF. This is something that's integrated in so many different funds and 401ks and IRAs, retirement funds and accounts that really have massive amounts of money. This has $1.6 billion in global assets. in total assets. The Vanguard Global US Real Estate. So it says global ex-US. So if you're in the US and you're investing globally, you would purchase this. The Vanguard Global, again, $5.414 billion total assets. Flex shares, iShares, and you can see the breakdown here. Now, how much of Evergrande is, how much position in Evergrande did these guys have? We don't know. But considering Evergrande was pretty much the largest real estate company in the real estate firm in China, we can assume that it's probably a decent amount, right? So we look at something, we go a little bit more in detail on this, and we can see, look, the highest returns in global real estate, up to 32% sometimes for the Dow Jones. 21% returns average on annual with iShares. So this is something that all these funds offer, and a lot of people do have money invested in this. So this is what is causing major volatility in the economic space right now, is the fact that the tendrils of Evergrande really go so far into every single one of these funds that it's frightening people, because if they go under and all the bonds that they issue that they're supposed to pay back aren't paid, then we have a problem with the funds, right? That means the funds are going to go down in price, and if the funds across the board go down in price, people get worried and they start selling off their volatile assets. So another thing here, this is Fidelity, which also offers the International Real Estate Fund. And as you can see here, they disclose their top 10 holdings. Evergrande is not part of it. However, a lot of these holdings are actually other holding companies, like Wing Tai Holdings. So that's a holding company. So they have funds as well. That means they hold different assets, right? They package all these assets. No more Sinoland. You're telling me these guys don't have China's biggest real estate bonds as part of their yield, as part of their performance? I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that all of these do, or at least a lot of them, especially the Asian ones. Like Wing Tai is Singaporean, Sinoland, I'm not sure, but it sounds Asian. So yeah, I think for sure, look, here it is, Asia Pacific, 24%, right? Asia Pacific, excluding Japan, 24%. You better believe that Evergrande is part of that, or there's the Evergrande bonds are part of that. So yeah, just more examples of what we're looking at and why these prices are going down like crazy. So what does it mean for crypto? Well, two things. Number one, the paper-handed investors will sell their crypto because they see it as a volatile asset. And in times of uncertainty, volatile assets do get dropped. So that's what we're saying. And number two, whales and market manipulators will use this opportunity to drive the prices of crypto down, to prey on the fear of those paper-handed investors, and therefore allow them to get a better entry as they accumulate more crypto. So they kind of work hand in hand. The whales are driving the price down. The paper-handed investors are getting scared. They're selling off to the whales. The whales are accumulating more and using it as an excuse to drive the price down even more. So that is what we're seeing right now in the space. I really wanted you guys to be aware of what's going on and why this is happening. And it's just really, honestly, it's temporary, and I do expect a big bounce off of the 42. As I mentioned, I have my long position ready if it does. And we're seeing Bitcoin now. We can look at it as the leader in the space because, Bitcoin goes down 10%. That means the alts are going to go down at least 20%, for the most part, right? So we look at Bitcoin now because it's the most stable of the cryptocurrency assets so far that we've seen. And time will tell. I think that we're probably going to bounce off this. If we break the 42K support, we will go down to the 37K level. So FYI, this is critical. It's critical support level, something I mentioned a while ago. And if we break down here, there's nothing stopping us from hitting 37,656. It could happen. It could for sure happen, but I'm actually quite bullish, and I think that my long does not liquidate me if it does hit here. So I do expect a return back to probably the 47 to 48K levels within the next couple of days. And that's just because despite the far reach of Evergrande, we're either going to see one of two things, okay? Either the Chinese government bails out Evergrande and the crisis is averted. Or number two, people realize, the paper-handed investors that are dropping their Bitcoins are going to realize, well, they're not going to have any left to drop. And so people are going to realize that this stuff is on sale right now. These are very heavily discounted prices. So, for example, Phantom, I saw it break this wedge before. And my target for Phantom is 88 cents. If it does hit 88 cents, I'm going to sell it at $1.20 for a 40% profit. These kind of opportunities are opening up all across the board. ADA sub $2 happened earlier. $1.97 came right back up. Will we see sub $2 again? Probably. It's possible. Solana, I'm waiting for $1.15. When it hits 115, I'm picking it up because I think that this is where we're going to start seeing a bounce, and I do predict that to happen probably by the 23rd of September. But we'll see. I think people are going to realize that there's really good deals to be had, and they're going to start picking it up, and the volume is going to increase, and the crisis will be averted. Plus, if we look at the stock to flow, predictions, which have been very accurate, they do say that September will most likely close no lower than 43K on Bitcoin, which makes me still bullish on the space. So that's all I had for today. I hope this is a very informative video. In summary, hold and buy the dips. If you're a leveraged trader, it's a good time to make money, because there's massive volume and price fluctuations going on right now. So I hope the overview proves to be informational for everyone. If you like staying ahead of the curve, click that like button and subscribe down below to get all the updates as they happen. And until next time, keep your portfolio strong and your hands stronger.